In future years, it is the Berlin Wall, not potatoes, that will spring up here. But for now, Red Army soldiers share their meager rations with German children in what has become a city of lost children.
Familiennamen unbekannt, hat die Eltern auf der Flucht. Hans Dieter, ebenfalls Egon Schröder, 5 Jahre alt, Joachim Ilz.
Bereft families can only watch these special newsreels and hope.
Klaus Dieter, 2 Jahre alt, Mann war 7 Jahre alt, kam aus Adlershof.
This family is lucky. They have found each other. And this little boy, his father. This boy, his mother. But many more are less fortunate and will be orphans forever. Children deported from Nazi-occupied territories are returned to their homelands, though many will have no home to go to. These are Soviet children traveling home from the Nazi camps in Eastern Europe. Not only Jews, but Slav children from all parts of the occupied East. Tattoos on their arms mark them for life, and they face a future of official mistrust. Though they are victims of Nazism, Stalin views them as tainted by fascism. And the same suspicion falls on returning Soviet citizens and prisoners of war. This document shows Stalin's instructions to the State Defense Committee, placing returnees in 100 holding camps. There they will face NKVD interrogators, possibly imprisonment. There is no escape from Stalin, even for exiles. He invokes prior agreements with the Allies to ensure that emigres in their hands are returned to his control. General Krasnov, Ataman of the Don Cossacks, has been fighting Bolsheviks since 1918. His army of 70,000 Cossacks has fought for Germany. At the end of the war, they surrendered to the British, who promised them immunity from Stalin's revenge. But on Stalin's demand, British authorities break that promise.
Солдаты окружили их, насильно их посадили в машины, и машин что-то так штук 40-50, их там было много офицеров.
Soldiers surrounded them and forced them into lorries. There were about 40, 50 lorries. They took them to one side of the bridge, and our detachments were waiting for them on the other side. They got out of the lorries and crossed the bridge on foot. Then the wives and the soldiers arrived. The officers were taken there. They didn't have to walk. 2 tried to throw themselves into the river, but they were stopped. The English major, who had handed them over, watched as they were shot by the NKVD.
Как их на месте расстреливали наши НКВДисты, войска внутренних дел, перед посадкой в эшелоны. Одна женщина охватила...
One of the women clutched her 2 children, who were only about 3 or 4, and threw herself into the river from the bridge, which was about 80 to 100 meters high. That's how it was. Shouts, cries, noise. Then everyone got into the train and they were sent away.
Traitors, their wives, their children, none escape Stalin's bloodlust. General Vlasov's renegade army, German captives, Soviet prisoners of war, deported Soviet citizens, a torrent of people in one direction. But as the railways haul Stalin's victims to their fates, the dictator's own train, bearing his name, is speeding to Germany to meet Allied leaders at Potsdam. As usual, Beria prepares the ground for his master. A massive security operation protects Stalin on his journey west. 17,000 troops and NKVD guards line the route. And Beria personally supervises security at Potsdam. Molotov is there too. But theirs are supporting roles. Potsdam is Stalin's great stage. Stalin is at the peak of his power, greeting the Allies with cordial self-confidence. Negotiations begin with the demilitarization of Germany high on the agenda. They confirm Germany's occupied zones, crowding them with some 6 million new Germans, exiles from Czechoslovakia, Hungary and Poland, where the communist Lublin government is recognized by the Western Allies. De facto Soviet control over the rest of Eastern Europe is never seriously disputed by Churchill and Truman. One mystery remains, the precise fate of the Führer, and Stalin will not be drawn into discussing details. The conference closes and the leaders smile, but they are moving in opposite directions. As their differences unfold and an iron curtain descends across Europe, politics will impose its own grim order on these happy scenes. But in 1945, Allied soldiers swapped stories and positions. Russian men and women date British and Americans. They go dancing together in Berlin's nightclubs and bars, or arrange swimming parties on the lakes outside the city. Friendly games